How's it, chaps? In today's episode, we are going to be making a brolly. Now, that is an umbrella in South African terms. In all seriousness, we are going to be making a professional-looking softbox, all for about $30. So stick around. How's it, chaps? Welcome back to the Burton Builds garage. Today, we are going to be making a professional-looking softbox, a parabolic style softbox that looks like this. So I'm sure a lot of you have seen these types of things. The reason we're going to be building that is in previous videos you might have seen us building this garage style softbox. This thing is, well, I mean, it works really well actually, but it's a little bit cumbersome to carry around to somebody's house when you're doing an interview. It doesn't look very professional, so we're going with that. Now you can buy these, they're probably $250, $300, somewhere around there. Yeah, I don't roll like that, so we're going to make one. You're going to need a couple of materials. First thing that we're going to need is some fiberglass rod. Now this is 4mm fiberglass rod. It comes in 4 meter lengths, and I got this from the blind people. That's the people that sell blinds, not actual blind people, so no offense there. These I think are used for Venetian blinds, or I'm not actually too sure, but anyway, they run across the blind's sort of width, and then when you pull the blind up, it ensures that the whole piece of material goes up nice and evenly. So super cheap. These things are 30 Rand per meter. Oh, so 30 Rand per length for 4 meters. I needed 3 of those, so we're sitting at like 90, 100 bucks there. Other things that you're going to need is some taffeta. Now we've talked about this before. Also, you can get this from the local material shop. This stuff is basically it's umbrella material, for lack of better words there. This is the type of thing that they use for professional softboxes, although those have got a shiny surface inside, a silver shiny reflective surface as part of the material. Now I couldn't find that stuff, so what I did is did the next best thing, of course, is bought some really shiny pretty material, again from the same material shop. So this is what we're going to sew inside the softbox. So it's like a dual layer thing. You're also going to need some white one, which is somewhere, I don't know where it went to, but anyway, you're going to need some white taffeta. That's for the diffuser part of the softbox. So I bought, of the white, 1.5 by 1 meter. Of the black, I bought 1.5 by 3 meters, or 2 meters. I think it was 2 meters. I'll put it in the description. And then the same with this shiny bit of material here. That is about all. The piece of wood, it's got a mounting plate. So I think normally with normal video lights you use a Bowen's mounting system. It's just the ghosts. Don't worry. Yeah, we don't have that. I just used a generic LED panel. So I had to make my own little mounting plate. Used a bit of MDF SupaWood, 16mm wood. You can use anything really. 340mm diameter on the outside, and then I just cut the inside out to match my LED panel. Some odds and ends, screws, stuff you'll have lying around. Not a big deal. All that we're going to do is we're going to cut out that circle. Now you'll see this all in the video, by the way, so this is just an overview. We're going to cut out this circle. We're going to drill 8 holes, 4mm holes in. That is to stick this rod into, like that. And then we're going to sew up these panels to make this round parabolic shape. So what you're going to need is to make a little pattern, I think you would call it. There we go. It's got some measurements on there. Hopefully you can see those. But basically a pattern like that. I've left these little tabs on here. So this part of the pattern is each one of these panels. So we sew it along those lines. And then these little tabs here, actually I cut the material out on the outside of these little tabs. Now that's just to leave a bit of material as bleed, like a bit of working material. The reason we did that is once we sewed along this line, then we used this bit of extra material, folded it over, and then created a little pocket. And into that pocket, then we slid this fiberglass rod so that it doesn't just, it's kind of keeps it in shape. And then we sewed it up, cut off the excess material. You'll see it in the video. So really, really simple to do. A bit of cardboard. I mean, geez, you can. I use the all brand box here. Really simple. So, chaps, let's get into it. So I ended up correcting the errors of yesterday. Yesterday I made a quick mock-up just to see if this was going to work, and it did work. However, I didn't measure everything out before I cut it, so it wasn't very accurate. So I decided to measure completely everything out. So I've marked off the 8 points. That's where the 8 4mm fiberglass rods are going to go into. Those are nicely accurately measured, and then also the 4 points. Well, yeah, 1 2 3 4. This part here is going to be cut out. That's for the light. Your internal cutout is probably going to differ to mine. Mine was cut out according to the LED light panel I have, so just measure and cut your internal hole accordingly. Next thing is 4mm holes, 25mm deep. I just marked it quickly with a little bit of tape, and those have got to be drilled around the circumference. 1 2 3, and then the other 5 are around the left edge. I had to be somewhat careful when drilling these holes. Reason being is because I wanted a perfect rod fit in each hole, and this wood is pretty soft, so going slow was pretty much the best option. Next thing to do was to cut each rod to size, 790mm long each, and then smooth the ends and mock assemble the frame. I traced the pattern 8 times onto the sheet of taffeta. It took a little maneuvering to get 8 of these to fit, but fear not, I did manage to only have to go back to the shop twice for more material. Let's just pause the video here, because I can already hear you saying, but Grant, this pattern looks a little bit different to the one we saw earlier. And well, yes, you would be correct. This one is multicolored and the other one was plain brown, so fairly good observation there. Let's make this a little bit more clear for the slower learners out there. Don't worry, you will catch up. 2 steps back, 1 step forward. I've left these little tabs on here. So this part of the pattern is each one of these panels. So we sew it along those lines, and then these little tabs here, I cut the material out on the outside of these little tabs. Now that's just to leave a bit of material as bleed, like a bit of working material. So I drew out the panel size that I wanted according to these measurements. Then I added 50mm to each edge to create the bleed or working material. And then I cut out the overall pattern size from the cardboard, which pretty much left us with this. I hope we are all up to speed now. Next step was to cut out 8 of these taffeta panels. Next to cut was the really shiny, pretty material. This stuff is a bitch to work with, well, at least in my opinion it is. Very slippery and stringy once the edges have been cut. At this point, I cut the oversized pattern down to the actual panel size that I wanted, but leaving small tabs for alignment purposes. Once all 16 panels were cut, the sew lines needed to be traced onto each silver panel. We then needed to sew each panel to the next. But wait, I can hear the peanut gallery again. Grant, how is this thing going to create an umbrella shape? Well, my friend, you are in luck today. Check out this next couple of award-winning specialized graphics. So we started with the silver panel, then the black panel, then another black panel, and then lastly another silver panel. Put them all together and sewed the top edge along the lines that I traced earlier. Then we flattened it out, added another black layer and then another silver layer, put them all together again, and once again sewed the edge along the lines I drew earlier. Flattened it out again, added another 2 layers and sewed the edges together. We repeated this process until there were 7 seams and 8 panels. Final step was to mate the 2 open ends, folding the black nylon to the inside and sewing them together. Once all the panels were sewn together, we needed to create the pockets for the fiberglass rods using the excess bleed material we originally cut. last bit was to create the seams along the front and the back edge. Now this was done just so that it's a nice professional, neat looking edge. Next was to insert the fiberglass rods into each pocket, pretty much giving the umbrella its shape. I think this step is pretty self-explanatory, and don't worry if you don't have any paint at home. Just walk upstairs quickly, go look in your wife's cupboard. I'm sure she's got some black nail polish. Just use that. She's not going to mind. So I would say it came out pretty damn well. Looking fairly professional in my opinion. Of course anything looks good in a camera, but you know, in real life this thing really does look professional. I don't have any hesitation to take it out to shoot at somebody's house, to shoot an interview or at the office, that type of thing. Really no problem with that. But you know, bear this in mind, I did take my time. I worked as neatly as I could. It did take me a little bit longer than expected, but then again, you know, when you want to be neat, things do take generally a little bit longer. In the video, something that I didn't really discuss too much about how I made the mounts. So these are the mounts on the back of kind of our softbox here that my LED slips into here. I didn't discuss this, reason being is because everybody's sort of light is going to be different, and this doesn't use a standard Bowens, I think it is called, mount. So you guys must just adapt your own thing. I mean, use duct tape if you have to. Cardboard and copper wire, you know, that's how we normally roll. So yeah, just, you know, bear that in mind. Also, another thing I had to adjust. Originally, we were going to use these rod lengths at 790 millimeters. And once I sewed the thing together, pulled it all into shape, I ended up having to cut about 20 millimeters off of each rod. So we ended up with rod lengths of 770 millimeters. So also keep that in mind. You guys might have to play around with that after you've made your, you know, your actual softbox and you've sewn the seams. I think it was the seams that were a little bit bigger than I originally planned them to be. So that took up some extra material. Anyway, that came out pretty damn good. Also, something I wasn't really clear about is when we made this diffuser for the front. So touching on it, ended up putting a, what would you call this, like a little pocket around the circumference of our diffuser. And then somewhere along here, I think it's about here, there we go, I left a little hole. And then I fed 3 meters of this rod, kind of fed it through, worked it around into the shape, pulled it tight, and then overlapped it by, what is that, 150 millimeters, and tied, you know, wrapped it up with some cotton, and that's how I got this to be nice and flat, in case you were wondering. Hopefully I've done a good enough job showing you how to do this type of thing. Try to keep the video as short as possible and try to make it really not boring. If there wasn't anything I was clear about, put it in the comments. Ask me the questions. I'll explain as much to you as I can. Other than that, chaps, if you liked the video, give it a thumbs up. If you haven't subscribed already, please subscribe. It really does help me out. Comment, like, smile, all of that good stuff. And yeah, that's me. Cheers.